Hello everybody and welcome. This is History Dude, and today we will be continuing our History of Battle series with the Battle of Megiddo, the first actual, battle that we know of. At least the details. We know the details of the battle, I should say, because we've already gone over previous battles in the previous videos, but this is the first battle where we actually know some details about it. Now, here's a map of ancient Egypt around the time of the Battle of Megiddo. This is a map of Egypt in 1500 BC, and Battle of Megiddo took place at circa 1468 BCE, so about 40 years later than this map. But this is what it looked like generally. Now Megiddo is up here, and that is where the battle took place. Now, this is Pharaoh Thutmose III, and he ruled between 1479 to 1425 BCE. And he led an army out of Egypt to suppress an alliance of the princes of Megiddo and Kadesh in Palestine. Now, the army took 10 days to march to Gaza, drinking from wells that had been dug along the desert roads. And after halting to rest and scouting out the ground ahead, Thutmose took a huge gamble. Instead of proceeding around the mountains that lay to the north, he marched his men through the narrow Aruna Pass, exposing them to easy attack if caught. Now here you can see the mountain pass. This is the route that the king of Kadesh thought the Egyptians were going to take, go around the mountain, because it's the most obvious route. But the Egyptians went the risky route, and they took Aruna Pass straight to Megiddo. And that was very risky because they could have been attacked from both sides and totally wiped out. All of Thutmose's generals were against this move, but he did it anyways, and the gamble paid off. Now, Thutmose leading his forces in a chariot of electrum, which you can see here. Now, a chariot of electrum is basically an alloy of gold and silver, so it would have looked something like this. Now, in his chariot, Thutmose III overawed the forces of Kadesh, which fled towards the safety of the fortress of Megiddo. And here is an image of, well, it's not an actual image. This is an artist's depiction of the Battle of Megiddo. The town's gate was firmly closed, but those inside hauled the escaping soldiers over the walls with ropes made of clothing. And the Egyptians won the battle outright. They totally wiped out the enemy forces. But instead of taking advantage of their victory and going straight into the town, the Egyptian soldiers got greedy and they collected plunder and loot from the battlefield. And because they collected this plunder and loot from the battlefield, they were unable to follow up on their advances, letting the enemy army inside Megiddo entrench themselves and start a siege. So instead of taking the city that day, they were forced to siege the city over several months. And after 7 months, the city was taken. And this here is just an image of one of the combat medals given out to Egyptian soldiers. Now, gold medals in the shape of biting flies were awarded to Egyptian soldiers in return for, quote, stinging the enemy. Now, this was basically, the ancient equivalent of a bronze star or something like that. It's just something to signify valor in battle. And that is about it for the Battle of Megiddo. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and as always, have an awesome day.